guys, Lori here. I'm here today to do the top 5 Wednesday tag. And this week's theme is books you enjoyed before BookTube or blogging, and that was it's about 4 or 5 years ago, I would say. So most of these are pretty much all in my college career, like when I was in Wells and in Post. They really are all dystopian, minus like 1 or 2 series. I realized that there was a stretch of my life where I really read all dystopian novels. I read less now, but there was a time when I read a lot. The first series I'm going to talk about, I read a long time ago, and it's called the Enchanted Air series by Chino Williams Chima. So there was 3 books. There was the Warrior Heir, the Enchanted Heir, I think, and then there was the Dragonstone Heir. And I really love those, and about these 3 kids who had like stones in their chest that inspired their like magical things. And it was like a trilogy, and I really loved them. I still have most of them in the shed, and I really loved it. I thought that it was like a really fun series. And now recently, in the last year, they came out with the Enchanted Heir as the picture I've just put. So I have to read that. And I actually might read it really soon. And I'm actually going to hopefully read her Seven Realms series, because I'm getting one of her books signed at the Boston Teen Book Festival, because I've entered the I helped kickstart it, so I got a book signed and I chose that book. And I have the other ones in the series. I just need to read them. So hopefully I'll get to read a little bit more of this author, but I definitely want to finish that series because I really enjoyed it when I read it. It was just such a fun read, and I really liked all the main characters that we met, and I'm excited to go back to that world as well. But yeah, the next book series I want to chat about is the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead. I will say I was a Twilight person. I read all the books, and I will admit, after that series, I was very, very turned off of vampires. If there was any books with vampires in it, I turned my nose up and was done. And Vampire Academies was probably the second series I read, because City of Bones was not, it had some vampires in it, but it wasn't like the heart of a story. But Vampire Academy, I took it on kind of a whim, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. But overall, it really impressed me. I thought the world building was spectacular, and the thing I loved about it was the strong female characters, which I cannot say for Twilight, and I just don't like the series more because of the character of Bella, and the world building are just not my favorites. But this series really took it made the world make sense, it made it fascinating, and it also just had such strong female characters that I was like, I can give this to any kid, any girls. I want them to read it, because Rose and Lissa, and then the subsequent Bloodlines, which I've talked about on this channel before because I read them all when I was reading on this channel. But Vampire Academy was definitely the first series that really gave me hope for vampires. Not sure, they're still not my favorite genre, but I do have a couple of books on myself that I would like to read more of. I'm much more of a magic person, but there are a couple of series that I would like to read in the future. But this was the series that slowly introduced me back to reading about vampires, because Twilight pretty much destroyed all interest that I had. And then the next series I'm going to talk about is the Darkest Mind series by Alexandra Bracken. I know I have talked about this a little bit, but I don't think I was reading all of these on here. I think it was only the end. Like, I think I read Sparks Rise and In the Afterlight on this channel, but everything else was before. And I really love this series. I think it's probably one of my top 5 dystopian series of all time. I just love Alexandra Bracken's writing, and because of this series, she is probably one of my favorite authors currently that I have, and I just love her. I think she wrote the series so well, and it really showed the darker side of superpowers, and it also showed like a fear-based society and what happens when a world collapses in on itself, which is basically what happened. And I just was really impressed by it. And if you have not read this series, I highly recommend you read it, because the movie's coming out soon and it looks really, really awesome. But I remember reading it and being captured, and just like, it's a hard read, especially the first book, because it's really reminds you more of a concentration camp than like anything else, the first 150 pages. But I really liked it, and the book series dealt with so many complicated issues, and I just really enjoyed reading it. So that is another reason why I really like the Darkest Mind series, and I highly recommend that you read it. The other one is no surprise to anybody. I was also I really did enjoy the Hunger Games series, and that's the next series that I'm going to I think I've talked about this in my previous video. I think it's called Couples I Love to Hate, or like Couples I Love to Hate. And I always have a tendency to choose the wrong romance. My ship never sails. I think I've had two experiences in my life where my ship has sailed, and it's been very, very few and far in between. But this series, my ship sailed, and I was thrilled about my ship sailing. I was so excited when my ship sailed. So I really did like the series. I love the strong female characters, and I love the dystopian elements. I thought it was so well done. As I told you, this was all about dystopian series. I bet you can guess the next one too. But I remember being really excited that I actually had a ship that most people enjoyed, and that it actually was going to like end the way that I wanted it to. So I know some people are not on this side, but hey, you finally know how I feel. But yeah, so overall, I really did like the Hunger Games. And I thought the movies did a very, very well job as well. I think I actually kind of like the movies a little bit better than the books, which is a shocking turn of affairs. But I did really like them, and I was very interested in it. I don't think I loved book 3 as much as everyone else. That's probably why I don't talk about it as much. But book 1 and 2 were definitely strong. And the last series I'm going to talk about is not going to be a shock to anybody. Well, it might be a shock because I know I know the ending of this series really turned a lot of people off, but I still like it, and that's Divergent. So don't be mad, but I do actually like the Divergent series, and I think I even like the ending. I have never heard anyone say that they like the ending, so I don't think I have ever publicly admitted this to anybody. But I thought the ending was strong. It was unexpected, and it worked. I think it fit with the story, and I think that as readers, sometimes we need to realize that just because a story doesn't go our way, that's okay. And I really was very, I don't think I've ever been so disgusted by fandom in my life to see the hate that Veronica Roth got, and I just think it was so unnecessary, and just I really had no words. I just think I was very like I felt so uncomfortable in that situation, and I really liked the ending. I thought that it was bold and shocking, and I think it made sense with the story. If you guys want me to do like a full spoiler talk about why I like Divergent, comment below and I'll happily do it, because I think I'm probably the only person out of my friends or people I chat with regularly that has this opinion. But I really did like the series, and I thought that it was really well done. The way Veronica told the story and ended the story was just really well done. The movies don't do the story justice, and I think that when Lionsgate went into this, they knew that they wanted to change the ending, and they knew that they did not want that to happen. And I think they systematically destroyed the story because it wasn't what Veronica Roth told, and I think it became something totally different. And there's no shocking that we still don't know the ending of the story on screen, because it did not. It was a blockbuster failure. Um, so I really like the series, and I would love one day for us to get a TV show actually about the series and not this fantasy world that they created, or this fantasy storyline that I personally have no interest in. But I know that a lot of people don't like this series, so yeah, but I really do. So those are my top 5 series that I really enjoyed before I started BookTube or blogging. I'm sure more will come up in the near future, but these are just my thoughts, and I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!